Hello and welcome to Advice Guys, an advice podcast hosted by me, Joshua Perlman, along with you.
Hannah.
You did so good there. You did great.
Yeah, I wasn't sure which accent was going to come out. Oh, and me, J. Chris Newberg. But today I will be doing the podcast under my alter ego, Philip.
Philip Chris Newberg.
Just Philip. I figure if Hannah's got one word name, I get a one word name. I'm Philip.
A last name?
Yeah. It's funny though, because I feel like everyone usually just calls me Little Hannah out here, especially like in Los Angeles. That's how most people know me, that sometimes I forget that I do have a lot. I mean, I don't forget personally, but like people who have known me for years at this point still don't know what my last name is because they just know me as Little Hannah.
I don't know your last name. Unless it sucks.
Yeah.
You ever had that happen where somebody, like she just said her last name, I think you talked over it. Did you hear it?
I didn't.
It's Abiel.
Abiel?
Yeah.
Huh, that's fun.
Have you ever had that situation where you really like someone? Like, not to say that you're shallow, Josh, or myself, or Hannah, but like where you really like someone and then you heard their last name and you're like, ugh.
No, but I've had it with first names. Like if a woman holds the first name of like my sister or my mother or like a woman who I've previously dated, it's hard for me. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's kind of out the door.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I dated a Karen Hitler once.
No.
It was kind of tough for me to get past.
I cannot.
I was like, I bet your uncle was terrible. And she's like, everyone says that.
Well, the voice would have been enough for me to leave.
Everyone says that, hey, Josh, let me take a picture of this conversation.
The autism is flaring.
Yeah, it sure is.
How was your week, buddy? How'd you do? Did you do good this week?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did pretty good. I booked like 4 clubs, and then I just got an audition. I haven't had an audition in a long time.
What for?
I have an audition for Dish TV to play a genie.
I could definitely see you playing a genie.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be phenomenal. I will definitely be a killer genie if I get that opportunity. I would imagine it's a tape thing.
What's Dish TV?
I don't know.
It's the like Dish Network, like DirecTV or Spectrum. Like Dish TV is the Dish TV network.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says
that's odd casting for you, buddy, as a genie, because I don't think anyone's ever wished for you to be in the same room with them.
No, it's funny. Here are the instructions. If you have or can do a New York or Boston accent, please read with one. If not, please read without. So
I want to hear your accents.
I don't have one. I don't have a Boston or a New York. I have mine. So I think I'll do it in mine because it says if you don't. But at this point, they're looking for a Boston or New York accent. So it's like I'm already screwed.
Hannah, can you do a Boston or New York accent?
I mean, I could be like, got to go to the call and get my coffee.
You did a Boston car and a Chicago coffee.
That's about it.
You parked a car by the Harvard Yard. My New York accent's just like a cartoonish Brooklyn accent. It's like, hey, in Brooklyn, you can get a fucking stapler or a slice of pizza at 4 a.m. It's the best. Shut up, Anthony. Everybody's named Anthony.
Oh, is that what it is? Is it easy to just be like, hey, forget about it? What do you want from me?
That's not bad. Don't say forget about it. But other than that, it's not bad.
Oof. Hey, how about a banana?
Hey, what are your wishes? I'll make them come true. I'm your genie.
Hey, rub this bottle. You wanna? Go.
Oh, God. Yeah, Chris, you as a genie is hilarious because you walking up to any woman and saying, do you want to rub this bottle is the most horrifying thing in the world.
Well, I have to be blue and shirtless, 2 of the things that I totally already am.
So yeah. Shirtless.
It says shirtless. This said, please do audition without shirt on.
Nuh-uh.
I swear to God, it says it. It doesn't say it wouldn't say it to a female. It says, please read. It says the role shoots without a shirt on, blue body paint, Super. So now I'm gonna get blackface trouble.
Wait, they
Yikes.
actually want you
No,
to
you
paint
won't.
your body for the audition?
I don't think so.
I don't think you have to audition in the blueface.
No, I don't think I'm gonna. That's so funny. I love it.
I do want to see you in Blue Man Group now, though.
I think that I always thought like Blue Man Group was like a group of girls who all blew the same man.
Oh,
No,
please.
come on. Not everything has to be blue, man.
Oh, I see what you did. You sort of grouped those jokes together.
Yeah, don't always have to go for the sex joke.
I
Oh,
wouldn't.
I actually want your advice, both of yours.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a professional question. There's a guy who owns a couple comedy clubs, and he sent me an email like yesterday that was like, "Hey, I have a spot for you in August." And this guy, I have heard from like multiple comics, and to me, he's just like said the shittiest things about me and my stand-up. And part of me is like, "Oh, I know the other comics who are on the show. I'll go. I'll do it. It'll be fun." And part of me is kind of like, I want to write this guy like, "Why? Why are you booking me? I've heard you talk shit about my comedy for years. Like, why?"
Hmm.
I don't know
Well,
what to do.
first off, that's going to throw the person under the bus who you heard it from. And
I've heard
second
it
of
from
all,
multiple people.
okay, second of all, don't be, that's idiotic. That's cutting off your nose to spite your face. You want to do stand up. Where's the club?
It's in a like it's in a shitty casino in a shitty town.
Yeah, but it's Fun Town probably because I think I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Butch Walker of the Sundance Kid comedy clubs, right?
I am. I'm talking about yeah.
Yeah, I think you should just, I don't know. If you want to do the show and you like the people, do the show. You're not going to accomplish anything by being like, just go there and fucking blow the doors off the place and change his mind. He watches those shows. And he also says stuff like that just to say stuff like that.
All right, maybe.
That's what I would do. But I would definitely if you or don't do the show, but like definitely 100% don't,
Don't
you
send him
know,
a cunty email.
no.
No, yeah. I think you should just do the show. Why not? Just
All
have fun
right.
with it.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's what I would do.
Okay.
Well, my life, you guys. No kidding. um,
Please tell me you have a new guy you're infatuated with.
kind of.
Holy shit, this is wonderful.
This is great news.
But he lives in Australia and goes home in like a few days. So
This news got so much worse. He lives in Australia and goes home in a few days?
yeah, I think he'll be back sometime in the summer for a few
Sure.
months, and then I think he's gonna move to LA at the end of the year.
He's a
Um,
musician also?
no, but he works in the music industry. Like he's like an audio engineer.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
Um, so like right now he's out here working with an artist that like they're all from Australia, whatever. Anyways, but I'm regardless of this, I've still the last few days, I don't know if you've heard like this way of thinking, whether it be like spiritually or energetically, but you know when it's like when you cannot consistently stop thinking about someone, it's because they're also thinking of you.
I don't think
Have you
that's
heard
true,
that?
but go on. No.
Okay, well, anyways,
I think
I
when I can't stop thinking about someone, it's because I know for certain they're not thinking about me.
maybe, yeah, I don't know. I just like because obviously I've been distracted the past like week or so by this new guy, so I haven't really been thinking about it as much. But then, literally within like the past 2 days, I have been like dreaming about Music Man nonstop. I'd like consistently in my head, just like making me feel sick to my stomach. And I'm like, what is like, why? Why am I not? I mean, it's still so fresh, but I'm like, why am I not over this? Why am I thinking about it 24/7? What do I do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, uh, so does that mean? Well, I think I would assume that you're probably obsessing with him because you probably fooled around with Australia guy. Did
Mm-mm,
not. Okay.
mm-mm.
So then maybe you should fool around with Australia guy and get music guy out of your system. I mean,
It doesn't work that way. It
That's what
does like
Josh would do.
no, that's not what I mean. It is what I would do, and then I would realize that that's not how getting someone out of your system works, and then you just continue to think about that person. It just you're gonna think about him for as long as you're going to think about him. Like there are still women who have been in my life who I've not seen or spoken to for months or years who like I still think about on occasion and wonder how they're doing and
Yeah.
wonder what could have been had I, not cocked it up in the various Josh ways I always do.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like the thing that also gets me, you know how you can like mute people on Instagram so that you don't watch their
Yep.
stories or don't see their posts?
Sure
Yeah.
do.
I'm just like so sure for a fact that he has muted my stuff because he hasn't watched anything I've posted in the last like 2 or so weeks. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what did I do that you muted me on
Okay,
Right.
Instagram?
this is interesting because I actually blocked my ex for a time and then I unblocked her somewhat recently. But nobody mutes somebody else because of anything they've done.
Yeah.
Like I muted my ex and then ultimately blocked her because it was painful for me to see her like out in the world happy, and I was trying not to think about her. So if he has muted you, and it's one of two things: either he's muted you or he's just not looking at your stuff. But if he has muted you, it's because on some level he doesn't want to look at you, and that may not be just like, oh fuck her. It may be like, oh, I don't love, like, because some of your gram, and Chris, I'm specifically talking to you, is like a lot of kind of, yeah, it's like that. It's a lot of thirsty, a lot of there's almost nipple in a shot, like,
But he
so
hasn't even seen like because that's usually when I was talking to him, at least that was never my Instagram story content per se.
it's
Now I'm
reactionary.
well, now I feel like okay, cool, like I don't need to worry about like if a guy's gonna freak out about what I'm posting on my story. So I'm posting whatever the fuck and I'm like, oh, of course now this is what he's not seeing, me looking really fucking good. But whatever, it's fine. It's
I
fine.
would I would wager that if he's not looking at your Instagram, it's because on some level it's easier for him to not see you as opposed to it being some sort of malicious act or anything that you've done.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's like, why would he be? But also, maybe he's finally becoming a good human because it's like he only pays attention to you when you're trying to leave. You know what I mean? It's just like literally like your story last week when you were talking about how you were like, "Hey, I'm throwing myself at you. You want me to come over and take work off?" He's like, "No, straight up, don't do that." And then you go over and hang out, and you're like, "I gotta go." And he's like, "No, don't go." Like, what the fuck? It's like,
Yeah.
so who? I don't. I think for whatever it's worth, I think you're putting too much time, energy, and effort into someone who you'll not remember in a year from now. But
Yeah.
right now, you don't think that's the case. But trust me, I promise. Who are a year ago? Who are you obsessing over? You
Burt
don't
Reynolds,
remember. You don't remember. Point proven. There you go.
Terry Hatcher.
A year ago would have been
Per
a
stumper.
purse dumper.
And how great are you now?
I'm so happy without him.
Yeah, there you go. And you're gonna be the same way without music guy.
Yeah, you will. I mean, I've been because like I only know two ways to like romantically engage: either desperately and madly in love, and I use the word madly intentionally. Like
Like a
I'm not a,
cow.
yes, like the cow. I'm not a sane person when I'm in love, or
Yeah.
like distanced and casual and kind of cold and awful and all of the things that every woman complains about men.
Yeah.
But when I am just like totally in it with someone, I just completely lose myself. And then years and years later, I'm just like, whoa, what was I even doing? Like, that's not
Yeah.
me.
See, unrelated to both of your situations, Josh, where you bang.
Whoa, wait,
What was that? Was there a
that
cat?
was a Hannah sneeze.
Oh my
Oh my
lord.
God. First of
That's
all, Gesundheit.
adorable.
It
Thank you.
was. That was maybe the cutest thing I've ever seen you do.
I felt like that was the sneeze that like Cindy Lou Who would have pulled off in The Grinch.
I have such a like I have such a weird thing about cute sneezing from women. Like I think it's the most adorable thing when it is. When it's not, it's not. But like I do love a
So,
cute sneeze.
so if like Hannah sneezed loud and snot bubbled, you wouldn't have a thing for it.
No, I wouldn't. But like but when she just sneezed just now. I was like, "Oh, you're like a Labradoodle puppy. Like that was adorable. It was so cute."
I know people always think I'm like faking it. And I'm like, that's real.
That
That's
would
my
be an
sneeze.
amazing choice to just be like, "I'll pretend I'm an adorable sneezer."
Mhm. No, yesterday I think unrelated, but like, so I was yesterday. I have such trouble with.
Making sentences.
No, I'm good at that. I just want to make sure I make the correct sentence.
Okay,
I have such a hard time with not working, like
sure.
with not keeping myself busy,
Mhm.
and I feel like I have like guilt about it. I'm like, why aren't I working? Why aren't I working? And like I couldn't yesterday. And Michelle was like, why don't you just enjoy it? Because it's gonna. She's like, it's obviously gonna change soon. She's like,
Mhm.
so instead of sitting around pissing and moaning about not being able to work, why don't you just enjoy the fact that you get to do what you get to do now, and it's gonna happen when it's gonna happen. And I was like, good egg. No, smart. They're just like I needed to hear it.
You and I have had
Yeah.
this exact same conversation at least 3 dozen times.
I know, and it's like it's probably something that I'll continuously need to hear, but I need to hear it. Like I need because it's very hard for me to relax. I've spent my entire life like working ever
But
since I was 13.
but you are working. You're developing 3 different TV shows. You're like you are working. You're just you don't have a job right now. But
Yeah,
so much of what we do is working on working, and that's
yeah, that's
still
true.
working.
I wish
That's
I had
true.
that problem. I wish I didn't like relaxing so much.
You do like relaxing?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, I can't. It makes me uncomfortable. I'm like I got to be doing like 10 things,
I
and
mean,
it's unnecessary.
but I also feel like I'm not necessarily in the, I don't have enough things lined up for me to like be on that path of like constantly working. Like I don't have that kind of schedule. So I don't know. But like, and also I have a stupid ass job in the service industry, which is exhausting. So this, anytime I do get to relax, I'm going to live that up.
Yeah, I mean, and it obviously the second I get a gig, I'll be like, man, it's like COVID all over again. During COVID, everyone's like going nuts, and they're like, this is crazy. I want to do
I
something, and
loved
then
COVID.
I
yeah,
loved COVID too. I
right.
fucking love it. Was best year.
I retroactively love COVID because you're right, we didn't do anything, and we got paid, and it was fun, and there was so much ice cream. But like
How much
during
ice
it,
cream?
I was just like, I want to do something. It's nuts.
Yeah.
But I did once in a while go to a riot with Josh because I remember Josh said to
We did
me,
not go to riots, buddy. We went to protests and demonstrations.
no, we went to
Those were
riots.
not riots.
Just I remember Hannah, you because I know that you like bad boys, etc. Josh said to me, "Dude, do you want to go to a riot?" And I'm like, "What? Why?" And he goes, "Dude, riots get so much pussy."
Oh my God.
Dear God, I loathe you with every cell in my body.
That was a
Just
line from my
contempt.
special. I missed the riots because I used to get so much pussy.
Dear God.
Yeah, I got a great laugh though. All right, should we get
From
people with
you.
no from the audience?
Okay.
Hannah's looking squirrely. We got to get to advice.
We're going to get to some questions. Are we
We don't want
ready?
to.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 1. Hi, guys. I was on the L and I saw this smoking hot guy. For those of you who don't know what the L is, it is the elevated train in Chicago.
Or St. Louis.
St. Louis has an L?
Yeah.
Anyway, I take pretty much the same time train to work every day, and 2 weeks ago he was on it. He sat next to me, we totally vibed, and then he just went his opposite way. How do I find him? Do I ride every train until I see him again? What do I do? Such a funny question because if it's reversed, like if it's a dude who's like, should I ride every train until I see her again? It's like, no, don't fucking do that, you monster.
Hmm.
I think people who tend to ride those trains have a pretty consistent schedule as
Yeah.
far as travel for work, etc. So unless it was randomly on the weekend or in the evening,
Or if he
that
was just like visiting Chicago.
yeah, that's a tough thing. I mean, he could, some people he could. Do they still have missed encounters on Craigslist? Is that still a thing?
I don't think so,
I don't
pal.
know.
It's
Hmm.
probably like there's probably like a missed encounters like Facebook or Instagram
He could,
page though.
yeah. I mean, he could probably take a swing at it that way.
I mean, maybe like, does she know what stop he got off at? Like, I don't know. I would, me being me, I would try like one or two more times getting on the same train at the same time. And if he's not there, he's not there, whatever. And then usually by the time she forgets about it, then she'll run into him again, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a funny thing to think about. Like, do either of you have people who are essentially like an extra in your life that was like a one night flirt or something like that that you've never seen again? That you're like, holy shit, what if that was? What if that was supposed to be the person with whom I'm meant to share my life?
But
No.
I think if it was meant to be, they wouldn't just be an extra one night stand type of deal.
Sort of like, yeah, like I always think like if I were dating a musician and it was meant to be, they would pay attention to me instead of ghost me. That's the way I think of it. But I
I
mean,
don't
it's like
know.
that's totally hypothetical.
I take ghosting as a sign that it was meant to be.
I mean, yeah, it does. It does. It's definitely a sign of meant to be, or that the person's a vegetarian.
Anyway, girly in Chicago or possibly St. Louis, but pretty sure Chicago. Go ahead and be a little stalkery, but not too much.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what we think. And as Josh Reddy's question number two, Hannah, why do the young people not drink anymore, but all you fucking idiots smoke cigarettes now? What's going on with
Okay, well,
that?
look, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I feel like I have been since, especially since the whole like Music Man situation exploded in front of my very own eyeballs. I have been going out so much, and usually I'm like a one drink, maybe two if I'm really trying to get wild. Recently though, I have been off my rockers, and I don't know, it's just like now the second alcohol touches my body, I have to have a cigarette. Um
I can answer that question though. Young people are not drinking as much because A, it's poison, and smoking is not worse for you than juuling. And especially, like, I feel like the young people are like a smoke when they're out, not like a pack a day person.
yeah.
But also, nobody's ever woken up next to a stranger in the middle of the night groggily because they had a cigarette or two. Like, that's the other reason women aren't drinking as much, young women.
I do know quite a few sober people, I will say, but at the same time, I'm like, gosh, like my friends are always trying to get me to go. Like I was supposed to go out to Barney's last night. I surprisingly didn't, but I know. Um, but yeah, it's more so like, and it's funny though, because I feel like my generation, even the generation below, was like, I feel like so close to like getting rid of smoking cigarettes. Like we were so close, and then vapes came around. And then once that happened, it was game over. And then now that it's like vaping is it is what it is. But now people are like, oh, but smoking a cigarette looks way cooler than holding a
Mm-hmm.
fucking battery in your hand. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just naturally turned into that. And
All right,
everybody's just smoking cigs.
now I know.
When I see a woman with a cigarette, I'm always just like, oh yeah, she was underparented. We've got a shot together.
See, when I see a woman with a cigarette in her hand, I think, oh, her mouth tastes like batteries.
I think her mouth tastes like Josh.
There you go.
All right, next question. Dear advice, guys, I've been living with my girlfriend for 10 years now. A woman I wanted to have sex with in college currently lives in Italy, and we occasionally PM each other. PM? What's PM?
Private message.
Okay. Isn't it DM? What? Anyway. She asked me to mail her a vibrator, so I did. My girlfriend does not know. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I wonder, is this okay? Thanks, guys. It's not okay.
No,
It's
wait.
super not okay.
No, not at all.
Why would you buy her and mail her a vibrator?
I wonder if he mailed it himself or if he just like put her address into Amazon.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know, but that's
mean,
not great. I mean, I assume like the whole point of it is like if you get me this vibrator, it'll be some sort of like sexual connection we can share.
mm-hmm.
Which is like he's having an emotional affair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like why is he messaging this girl who lives in Italy that he once used to want to fuck?
One of two
Yeah,
reasons. Either he's feeling underloved in his current situation, or he is just a typical guy who attention from any woman is like the greatest thing in the world. So he's like, yeah, I'm going to go down this road.
But then if he's having issues in his relationship, that's something you should work out or leave the relationship.
That's why I've never been a like I want to get married type of person, because like the idea of coupling for the sake of coupling never made sense to me. The idea of
right.
coupling because I literally cannot imagine myself without another human being specifically, that makes sense to me. And if that ever happens, then I'll get into a serious relationship. But until then, I know I'm just going to be this guy mailing vibrators to ladies in Italy.
Yeah, I had a friend once who used to send mugs to dudes.
That's a callback that Hannah did.
Making
All right,
and
buddy. I think
making you laugh, Hannah, is one of my favorite things.
uh,
Luckily, I diverted it and because it showed up broken anyway. So you
I
know
know,
what?
I know. We all know. We all know. We all know.
okay. So, do you have advice for this guy, Chris?
I mean, it sounds like the situation that he's in, he doesn't want to be in. He wants
Yeah,
to like. It's like the maybe
Or
he
maybe
has
he does, but it's lost a little bit of its spice and excitement. And this
no,
lady, 10
no.
years? I don't
I'm
know.
sure, but no, he shouldn't be with somebody he doesn't want to be with entirely. It's
yeah.
like he just. I mean, that's just my opinion. It just is like if he finds more excitement in mailing vibrators to other countries, and that's something that's exciting to him. It's not a, he's not paying enough attention to his current situation. Like, why not put the
Yeah.
energy and effort into making it better again?
Speaking of vibrators, this is a true story. I was doing stand up somewhere, I think like Lake Tahoe. And I was at LAX going through security, and like they started checking my bag, and while they were doing it my nose hair clippers like started vibrating, and I was so embarrassed to admit that I had nose hair clippers because it's such a like old man thing. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's a vibrator.
That's so funny.
Like rather than think that that's what I was into
Oh
than
my
just some
gosh.
hygiene.
That's funny.
All right, buddy. Yeah, you should maybe look at your relationship, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Can you help me? My girlfriend and I have been together for over 6 years, but we are through. I'm moving out this Monday, and it never even dawned on me what we are going to do with our dog. I
Mm.
started to bring it up, like splitting time or me taking him, and she shut it down immediately. She won't even talk about it at all. What should I do? Ugh, that's rough.
Except that your dog is gone.
That
Yeah.
hard? Just like you're just like, no more dog.
What are you going to do? Go to small claims court over it? You're going to turn it into a civil proceeding? What are you going to fight this woman and
Go to
steal her dog?
adorable claims court.
Yeah. No,
I
you're
mean, I
just
think it
like,
just
go ahead, Hannah.
no, I think it just depends on like, can you guys have a civil relationship and then split time, like taking care for the dog? Because I do know plenty of relationships where they will share time with the dog, like especially someone's going out of town, whatever, this person gets the dog for the week or whatever, like they split time. But then I also know relationships where just one person takes the dog fully, so it really just depends on like where they stand. uh Relation, I mean, I know the relationship's over, but where they stand, I guess, like civilly with each other, to then can they share, or is just one person
They
taking
can.
it?
I mean, if he wants, if he, it depends how bad he wants the dog. If he wants the dog really bad, he should wait until she's at work, go over there with his spare key, steal the dog, leave this message on her refrigerator, and be like, "Guess the dog got out," and then just block her.
I think Hannah brings up a good point. Moving past all that, I wish this human would have written what the like what their communication is like in the breakup.
Yeah.
Like if they're
Right.
breaking up horribly or civilly, because if they are civil and this is just like the one thing she won't talk about, like I
Mhm.
would just give her time
Yeah.
and like let her have the dog for now and then broach it in a month or 2 or 3, like, hey, I love and miss the dog, I'd love to see it, are there days when I could have it? But if this is a really contentious situation and she's not budging at all and you're not talking about anything, I think you got to just suck it up and just be like, look, she needs the dog right now for whatever reason, and it's not your dog anymore.
Yeah, until she goes on vacation with her new boyfriend and needs someone to watch the dog.
Yeah.
Oh God, I cannot imagine anything more brutal.
That's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Oh, buddy, I'm sorry. Get used to it. She's gonna be out there in Costa Rica, and you're gonna be with that dog.
Yep.
All right, dear advice, guys. I met this guy who is super outdoorsy. He loves camping and fishing and hunting and all that. I'm not one for any of it. Sundays are for mimosas and pancakes, not fighting a bear. Um, but I really like him. I told him it's not my thing. He laughed and was like, oh, yeah, I know that. He says he doesn't care, but it's what he does like every weekend. So I get a Wednesday or a Thursday, and then he's gone on weekends with his buddies. Are we too incompatible, is I think what they meant. Do I need to go? Do I need to get into camping, or is this going nowhere? Help me.
Have you ever heard the song The Outdoor Type by the Lemonheads?
No, but I like the Lemonhead, so I'm surprised.
Yeah, it's a great song about this dude who's like, I lied about being the outdoor type. He's like, and it's a great song. Um, I'm the same way. Like Michelle's like, let's go camping, and I'm like, no, bears will kill us. I'm like, can we just like go to a hotel with a forest view, and like,
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, it's just like it's going camping where there's bears that can kill you is just as on like.
I mean, there's a
just
lot
like,
of places you can camp where there aren't bears, man. It's not just
sure.
like every campground just has bears roaming.
Yeah, like trailer parks. There, I would camp in a trailer park because that would be safe, maybe. But I mean, I think I have a better chance of a meth trailer blowing up
Or a
than
tornado.
that's true. Tornadoes, especially bear tornadoes. But like, I think
Bear-nado. Let's pitch it.
Yeah, I think camping is a lot like getting into a helicopter. It's like no good things can happen.
Yeah, I feel like where I grew up, it was like very big for people to be like outdoorsy, hunting. My dad tried to take me camping all the time when I was little, and um something about it I just didn't gel with. And now that I'm an adult, I'm like, that is the absolute last thing I want to do is go camping or hunting. Or I mean, I could maybe get around camping, but anyways, back to this lovely lady's question, I guess, is, are they incompatible? I don't know, because I think you could potentially come to compromise and work around it, but also if it's something that you really don't think you could ever get, like, do with this person or enjoy each other's other curricular activities, then like maybe yeah.
I'm also not an outdoorsy type. I grew up in rural Illinois on a farm and like camped. Actually, like where I grew up was essentially camping.
Yeah.
And I killed a rabbit with a BB gun when I was like 12 or 13.
Is that because you needed to, Dexter?
No, but thanks for calling me a psychopath. No, but I killed it and then just wept like a tiny little baby child, and then decided that I needed to skin it and cook it because that would at least make like its death meaningful.
No.
So then I like my mom found me like trying in the kitchen to like make rabbit and like fucking it all up, but it was the only thing that made sense to me. Like if somehow I could make food out of it, then it was like at least in the natural order of things, and I was so distraught.
No.
I remember one time when I killed this person, and I was like, I feel really bad about this. You know, it'll make me feel better if I skin it and chop it up in the kitchen.
I'm not gonna lie, I had a dream last night that I murdered somebody, and I was
Who?
and I was trying to get away with it, and like the cops kept bringing me into questioning, and I was like getting scot-free every time, but they like totally knew I did it, but they like couldn't find any like actual evidence to tie it back to me, and I was like shitting my pants internally like I'm gonna go to fucking jail, but I didn't.
Man, I gotta tell you, the two most exciting dreams I've ever heard are that one and then Martin Luther King's.
Mhm.
His dream was something we all paid attention to.
Yeah, that was a seriously good dream, Hannah.
Thanks.
To
Mhm.
this person's point, if he's going to go out every weekend camping and you're never going to go, that's going to be tough to have a relationship. If you find in
Yeah.
like a month or two, he's going every other weekend and you guys are spending weekends indoors with plumbing half the time, then like you're not incompatible. It's a thing he loves doing. That's not your thing. It's totally okay in a relationship to not be entirely the same.
Yeah.
I have finally learned that lesson that like I don't need to change myself and become totally different and lose myself in a relationship, which is what I used to do, which is how like for a year I ate breakfast food even though I hate breakfast. But I was just like, yeah, I don't know, she likes breakfast, so we got to eat breakfast every day.
You don't like breakfast?
I don't like breakfast food. No, I like to, ideally, I like to wake up, exercise, go for like a hike, and then not eat until lunch. And breakfast
Yeah,
food's my least favorite
I'm not
food.
a big breakfast guy either.
I don't like eating like first thing in the morning, but I love breakfast foods.
I like
I
eating
don't mind like
breakfast.
pancakes for dinner. I don't mind
Yeah,
that. That's fun. But
yeah.
I don't like how my body feels when what I do in
Yeah.
the first hour or two is just like loaded up with fucking chorizo and cheese and fucking eggs.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, so yeah, maybe you guys are compatible, maybe you're incompatible. I don't know for sure, but give it a shot. He sounds nice.
Quick yes no question for both of you. Not
Uh,
yes no and then a story. Yes no question. Josh, go back to a few years ago when you were obsessed with that specific person and they wanted to go camping every weekend. Would you have gone camping every weekend? Yes no.
yeah, I would have.
Hannah,
I would have
nope,
walked.
nope.
God
Just
damn it.
yes no. We agreed on it. Hannah, musician guy. When he like all of a sudden calls you up right now, goes, "You want to go camping? Let's work this out." And then, by the way, I'm really into camping now. I want to go camping every weekend and every time you have a day off. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, but it's something though that I think I've learned. Like now, if someone was like, "You want to go camping?" I'd be like, "Nope," but I
Mhm.
think you're great, and I'm gonna still be me and not lose myself and be all the things that I was when we met. So
I'll
that
be your
once,
emergency contact when you fall down a cliff.
okay, thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
You're like number 7 on the list of people I would use as my emergency
Oh,
contacts.
thank God. That takes off so much pressure. I think, I don't know. It feels like that was a gift.
I feel good about it.
Yeah. All right. Let's hit question number 5 and finish strong.
You want to finish strong? I saved my favorite for last.
Is the question from H Town?
Question is not from H Town.
Thank God.
Hey guys, it's me again. Thanks, and I get all 3 of your points, but I'm gonna go with Josh. Now, how do I know if a girl wants to have sex with me? Can either of you guess from whom this question came?
No. It's not H Town.
It's not H
Oh,
Town.
it's it's the guy who wanted to fuck the mom.
That's exactly right. Is the guy. My favorite thing about this question is that he said, "How do you know when a girl wants to have sex with you?" He's talking about his buddy's mom, and
So
he's
she
calling
must
her
be
a
young.
girl.
She must be so young.
Or he just thinks of like all females as girls because he's young.
Yeah.
I love this kid. I love him. God bless.
So
Uh,
he's gonna act. What, he's gonna actually try to fuck his friend's mom?
I mean, it sounds like he's open to the idea if
Oh
she
my
indeed
God.
wants to have sex with him.
So illegal.
yeah,
He
isn't
might
he like?
be.
Didn't we establish that he was like 16 or 17?
We don't know how old he is. He could be 17, 18. Could be 19 if he was held back a year. He could be in college. We don't know. Take the age out of the question And let's just deal with the inappropriateness of it being his friend's mom and also her being a married woman.
Okay. All right. Let's ask each.
Potentially, actually, we don't know if she's married. We just know that it's this buddy's mom. So she could be a divorcee or a widow.
All right. Let's each put ourselves in that situation. Back when Josh, when your mother was alive, when my mother was alive, Hannah, your mother is alive. If you had a good friend who stooped your mom, does your friendship come back from that?
No.
Why not?
No.
I'm sorry. If one of my guy friends fucked my mom, sorry, I can't even picture that. No, not like that's not my friend anymore.
Really? But do you forgive your mother?
Well, yeah, I think I would equally be fucking pissed at my mom.
Right.
Fuck no. So, sayonara.
I'd have
Damn.
been happy for my mom, but I wouldn't have been friends with the dude anymore.
Yeah, it's tough to come back from that.
Well, who cares? High school friendships? Like, are you friends with anyone you were friends with in high school?
Just
Couple.
one
Yeah,
girl.
yeah, I think two.
I'm not, because almost all of them fucked my mom.
Yeah, and those who didn't found out you used to kill rabbits.
That's the other. um, his question though is a fun one. How do you know if a girl wants to have sex with you? For me,
Well,
it's easy. I just know that all of them do. So
A girl's gonna.
it's obvious.
Well, some guys are really fucking dumb and oblivious.
Fair.
And I think if a girl is like touchy in a way where like you guys are having a conversation, she always like touches your shoulder or like whatever, like reaches out for you if like you guys are laughing, or like I don't know, she's giving you eyes, or like obviously this isn't going to be the case in his exact scenario because he's trying to fuck his friend's mom, but just in general, like if you're texting a girl a lot and she's really flirty and like kind of hinting at things, like it can get to be very obvious, but some guys are just so oblivious.
yeah.
I mean, I would wager that like, for example, I went out with a buddy and two women on, like, he was interested in one and she brought a friend. So I wingman, and she and I hit it off, but she lives in London and was going back. And there was
Are you talking about Scoot? We changed the name.
yes, I am. Um, and this woman and I vibed, and she like said we should exchange information. And at the end of the night, we hugged and said goodnight. And I didn't ask for her information, and I was just like, I mean, what's the point? She lives in London, and she's perfectly lovely and incredibly smart and funny and beautiful. But I was just like, there's no point. So I didn't ask for information, but in that moment, I was like, oh yeah, and like we were having a conversation outside while smoking a cigarette, and she brought up like detached sex and like how she was interested in having like a one night stand essentially. And I was like, oh yeah, I know why she's bringing that up, but like it didn't make sense for me to do that night. But I think that women, like men, are fucking dumb and clueless. But I think like if you pick up on a few signals, one of two things is the case always. Like if a woman's touching you and smiling and like flirty, she either is interested in you or absolutely adores the attention she's getting from you and doesn't want any more.
What does that say?
Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing, you fucking weirdo?
Hannah replaced London with Australia, and then you'll like the story more. That's what it says.
Well, we can't see it because you're not. Yeah, all right. Well done, buddy. You're doing great. You're doing
I'm
just great.
I can draw. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think it's almost always obvious if a woman like adores the attention from you or wants more than just that attention. That's where it becomes confusing. But it's usually obvious if a woman's interested in you in
mhm,
any kind of sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
I make it so obvious, even when I'm trying to be nonchalant, like it's still obvious, whether it's over the phone or in person. I mean, in person, it's even easier to tell.
I would imagine that I believe that very much so, based again on the car had not stopped yet, and the door was already open and you were running to the front door. That, I believe,
Ah,
is probably how you are in a situation where you're throwing hints. And good for you. That's great. You're obvious. You know what you want. That's solid. I mean, I think it's absolutely the case. Yeah, you can always tell.
Yeah.
yeah. So, buddy, not sure whether or not you should fuck your buddy's mom. I think you should. There are a couple dissenting opinions here on the panel.
Oh, gosh.
But
Don't know.
if she's like, I don't know, if she's super flirty and touching your thigh while you're chatting and like putting her hand on your shoulder and laughing too much at your terrible jokes, you got a shot.
Yeah, but also, Hannah, don't you have a song about stealing someone's fucking dad?
Yes, but that's supposed to be like in the way that like about Stacy's mom, but like now Stacy's all grown up and she's trying to get like a sugar daddy. But this is like consenting adults at this time.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
Because like Stacy's mom is about like this kind of scenario where the kid is in high school or whatever and wants the fucking mom.
Yeah.
My song's supposed to be like, oh, Stacy's all grown up and now she's gonna get revenge and have your dad pay for my new purse.
Yeah. Stacy's mom is a song about love and beauty. Your
Sure.
song is one born of anger and revenge.
Yeah, yours one is very Hollywood themed.
Yeah.
I always used to see Rachel Hunter on Runyon, and I would go, Stacy's mom. She was amused the first time.
Wait, Rachel Hunter, she's
Stacy's mom in the video.
is she? She was married to
Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart, yeah. First time I ever had an In-N-Out burger was at Rachel Hunter's house.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's cool. You want me to pick up that name you just dropped?
In-N-Out burger?
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely. All right, Hannah, it's time for Wheel of Accents.
All right, you guys. If you like this podcast, you're gonna like, subscribe, and comment down below what you want to hear from us next. You're gonna email adviceguys11@gmail.com for your questions, and we're gonna answer them. You can find us on Instagram. We've all got our own Instagrams, and like listen to podcasts wherever you get your podcasts.
You went a little Jersey there for a minute. You went Jersey for it. It was like it slipped into Jersey and then it came back.
You were like Cockney, but also like on the spectrum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I stand on my cable box a lot, so that way I'm on the spectrum.
I have for a long time made fun of people who use Spectrum as their cell phone provider and been like, "Oh, your phone's on the Spectrum."
Yeah, that's funny. So many jokes.
Yep.
All right, well, thanks for listening, everybody. We appreciate you. Hannah, thanks for staying awake, buddy. Good job. Josh, thanks for having a lot of problems. And me, thanks for avoiding everything in my life. Yay. We'll see you next week on a very special show.